To be at the top of their game, the Rebels need equipment that matches.
We probably have about four to five different manufacturers that come in, do fittings with our guys and spend the day with them and get around them. And it's much for our guys to learn what else is out there and what works, what doesn't, maybe some preconceived notions of, certain clubs. They get a chance to, test out some equipment and spend a day or two doing that.
Growing up in junior golf, you're pretty boxed in to a set you play just based off of kind of what club you grow up at. So when getting here and being able to have every option is awesome. I mean, literally every company came, I think, which it really is special because they treat us like their own.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I mean, coming to a school like this, it just gives us access to kind of everything we can to make us better. And this is just an example of one of those things, being able to try out different clubs and see what matches our game the best.
Anytime you can have the support from different club manufacturers like we have, it means everything. And we make a point here not to have just one company and all our guys with one company. When we recruit these guys to come here, we want them to play with whatever equipment is best for them and what they're most comfortable with.
We kind of just get to hit and choose what we want to, so it gives the players a little bit of freedom. I think that's something that's underrated that Ole Miss has, that not a lot of schools are part of, so I think it's just, we're very grateful.
Just hitting some 3-woods and kind of comparing them to my numbers and the new ones they have and see if it's an improvement.
Just making a few changes with the irons, and so just changing the lofts on it. Just trying to find something that'll make me hit a little better. So.
And that's kind of more get it not quite. That first one was a little higher and softer.
Every club company might have a little different feel or a little different ball flight. So you get to test everything out and see if the one you play is actually the best for you.
If we're going to be on top of our game, we need to be able to have the best equipment available to us. And it's super nice to come right out here. We don't even have to go anywhere, so it's really nice.
Yeah, good to see you. Likewise.
After a surprisingly early exit from the NCAA tournament at the end of the 2023-24 season, the men's golf team knew they had something to prove when they got back to Oxford in the fall.
I just look back, I remember, you guys around in California last year. It wasn't the greatest feeling ending our season, right? But all I heard on that trip, all I heard then, all I've thought about is what we were going to be next year, what was going to be different, what you were going to do. Next year's here. This is next year.
Well, I think that you got to look at golf like you look at life. Everything's not going to go the way you plan for it to. I think you just kind of got to roll with the punches and, take it on the chin. Adversity's going to hit you at some point. You might as well be ready for it.
I definitely saw a lot of development from the guys last year, and especially over the summer. And even starting this year, the guys have changed a good bit.
It only matters if you do all those things that fueled you when we were sitting out there last year. I'll never forget that feeling in my entire life. The one thing that matters is taking care of business each and every day while we're here. Make sure as a leader, you look around, look at your teammates, maybe the guys that weren't there last year, hold everybody accountable every single day, right? You don't have to be a hero every single day. Just be a little bit better every single day. Right?
Sure.
Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right.
To take their game to the next level, the Rebels put in work during qualifying rounds while they are home from competition.
I think we all understand that we're trying to beat each other, and I think we want to beat each other more than we want to beat anybody else, so I think that's going to make us better.
We all push each other, especially here at home, practice, workouts, qualifying, kind of everything we do. From there, we can kind of focus on ourselves and let it all come together as a team, knowing the work we put in was all together.
We have pretty much everything you need to get better. We're really blessed to have the Ole Miss Golf Course and Oxford Country Club, and to have our facility too.
Having a variety of different courses to kind of go play, that's nice being able to see different layouts, different tee shots, kind of seeing not the same thing over and over again.
They're two different type of golf courses, so it's nice to have Country Club, which is a little bit tighter and harder off the tee, and then University is a little bit more open and probably a little bit more scoreable. So it's good kind of to switch it up depending on where we're going, what tournament, to kind of help us shape our game.
And I think it just keeps things from getting monotonous. You know, I think if you play the same golf course every day, then you're not going to get a whole lot better after you've hit that same shot 1,000 times. So I think it's cool just to be able to mix it up and see different things.
And I think that's a privilege that we have here. I know not every university has the opportunity to go do that.
Yeah, I think we have a bunch of guys that are ready to play, and I think we're in for a great year, and I think everybody's going to have a great time.
Chris Malloy has set the standard high for his team. And the players have their sights set on finishing this year out strong during the spring semester.
We're going to be better than we were last year. You know, just a steady progression, right? So each of us have another year underneath us. 5 guys that are juniors or older, right?
I know we just have a lot more experience, and I think that's so big. You know, last year most of the guys were like pretty new to the golf courses we were playing, and so kind of having like a returning squad and then being able to like play the same tournaments that we played last year, just having like more experience and more knowledge of each course, I think can never hurt.
We got an old team. Whenever I first got here, we were an old team, and then we were a really young team for a bunch of years. But now we're an old team. We got a few guys that have got some experience, and I think that's going to help us more than anything. You know, that we're not scared of the bright lights.
With the people we're bringing back, we're going to be really hard to beat, and I'm just excited for this group of guys to come in.
I think we're all starting to play to a higher ceiling and a better capacity, and so I'm pretty excited for the season. I think it'll be a pretty legit squad we got this year.
I think we're the best team in the country, to be honest, and so I think we're going to make a run for the national championship.
How does it feel to be ranked first in the country for the first time in program history?
Yeah, anytime you can do a first in program history, it's pretty special. And I think ultimately, number one, mid-year ranking isn't the ultimate goal, but it's a part of the process. And so to say it feels anything but great, I'd be lying. We're not going to try to and run and hide from the fact that we're number one in the country. These guys have earned that. It's not a preseason, poll or anything like that. This was, throughout 4 tournaments in the fall, and they earned that. And certainly you come into the year with high expectations, high hopes, but to watch your hard work pay off and have some good finishes, second, first, to actually do it takes it to another level. And again, I think it just gives these guys the confidence that they have what it takes to succeed.
Like, you could look at it as pressure, but we're all looking at it as like, let's see how far away we can get from everyone else, just keep on rolling. And luckily we have guys who want to do that. Like, they don't even want it to be close, so.
When we go tee it up, you honestly don't know who's going to beat who. It's because it's so competitive. I feel like ranking is just kind of a reflection of the work that we do back home.
They really proved that this last week when they didn't have everything going their way, still found a way to win. That's what it takes. If we're gonna win an SEC championship and a national championship, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
We have a good group of guys back home that, day in, day out, we're competing with each other. So I think whenever we go to a tournament, we're kind of just feeling the same pressure.
Just trying to get better every single day. Either in the weight room or out on the golf course.
We're a really solid group of guys, and we started talking about national championship the second we stepped on the campus, and seeing us saying that and then succeeding right after, and then keeping that motivation, keeping it new every day and going into the spring with the same mindset is huge.
It's cool just to say you're number one, but at the end of the day, rankings don't really matter. It's just at the end of the day, where at the end of the season where one team comes out on top, and so being ranked number one doesn't really matter. Obviously it's a confidence booster, but you still have to get it done at the end of the season.
Domination, I think, is the biggest thing. Love to win SECs. National championship, I think, is in our grasp, especially this year. It'd be nice to kind of dominate over the regular season as well. I think it's just an exciting time to be on the golf team at Ole Miss. There's a lot of excitement swarming us, and I think the goals that we have is just to kind of go out there, do our jobs, compete, and just dominate.
We have an awkward sport, right? You know, we end now and don't pick back up again in tournament competition until, you know, February, but we need to be ready to go. So we got to get better, and each of us have, you know, room for improvement in our game. So we'll do that, and you know, we'll address any of those issues and just be confident and be ready to go come out spring season.